I would now like to introduce Sonia Opper, who will present the Terry Book Award.
Thank you very much, and a good morning to all of you. This is not the award. We'll get to that later. Being assigned to identify the book that has made the most significant contribution in management research over the last 2 years is a challenge. The committee members facing the challenge, and I was very grateful for that, were Marianne Feldman from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, Anne Langley from HEC Montreal, Mark Misraki from the University of Michigan, and Charles O'Reilly from Stanford University. You just mentioned the Pay It Forward challenge, and you probably noticed all the posters out there asking you whether you've already PIFed today. Well, these colleagues have done so, and they have done so long before the challenge was out. Imagine, it is the first week of January, Christmas and New Year's behind you. You ate too much, you worked too little. You're itching to get back to the work desk. This is the exact moment when the Academy invites you to join the award committee. The task is clear and without any illusions. Add about 50 books nominated for this award to your schedule. Have absolutely no fantasies. About 90% of these books will have no immediate utility for your own research projects. Well, here's a chance to pay it forward. I would also like to thank Lucy Leedy Wheeler. Her professionalism, paired with cheerful patience, was remarkable. I'm sure that some of our scheduling problems must have appeared to her as part of a giant field experiment in which she was the subject to some sort of novel stress test. And as those of you who know her would guess, she passed with flying colors. So I have a special gift for you, Lucy, and this is Backcountry Swedish Preserves to thank you for your care and patience. On behalf of the committee, I'm proud to present to you our 4 finalists. Marc Durand leads us on unfamiliar territory and studies with Doctors at War, a field hospital in Afghanistan. He explores organizational challenges in an environment that we all never want to visit, but should be grateful to learn about. Yves Doz and Keely Wilson explore with Ringtone the rise and fall of Nokia. Mean Man by Mark Lipton shows what happens to companies if leadership is left to the unpleasant among us. He also says what happens to countries if leadership is left to the unpleasant among us. And Françoise Carré and Chris Tilley clarify why bad jobs in retail do not need to be as bad as they often are. And the winner is Ringtone. Yves Doz and Keely Wilson's outstanding contribution turns our attention to the rise and fall of Nokia. There are more than 100 published books that carry the word Nokia in their title. The number of journal publications is impossible to count. But this does, surprisingly, not mean the story is told. Famous French philosopher René Descartes thought that a good book is like the conversation with the finest minds of the past. Yves and Keely take this advice quite literally. They craft a masterful case study building on decades of in-depth conversations with different generations of Nokia executives. What they come up with is a fresh account of the company's rise and fall. It is an account that holds general lessons about corporate challenges and the various factors influencing crucial turning points in corporate development. In a more abstract sense, and I like this too, the authors offer with Ringtone an important lesson. Deep knowledge matters. And long-term commitment to a research question pays off, sometimes more than being the first coming up with the next big buzzword in the discipline. It is my absolute pleasure to present this award, also on behalf of Keeley Wilson, to Yves Dawes.
Good morning, everyone. I'm here to present the Career Achievement Awards, which are being given today in recognition of long-term excellence over a course of individuals' careers. And we're doing this in 4 areas: that of distinguished educator, scholar practitioner, service and scholarship together. To begin with, I'd like to extend a thank you to the committee. Like the prior committee, we had an enormous number of unbelievable applications for these awards, or nominations for these awards. The committee being Trish Ray, who was our chair, Tanya Casado, myself, David Grant, and Catherine Pavlovich. We really had an exceptional group of individuals nominated, dozens and dozens. And the individuals you're going to see today are really just a small part of the excellent groups of individuals who have had leadership roles and made substantial changes to the Academy. Let me begin with the Distinguished Educator Award. It's my pleasure to announce that Amy Hillman is the 2018 recipient of the Distinguished Educator Award. Amy is the Dean and Rusty Leon Chair of Strategy at the W.P. Carey School of Business at Arizona State University. She's a particularly strong recipient of the award this year. She's won multiple teaching awards and demonstrated teaching excellence throughout her career. She's designed and implemented a number of initiatives to dramatically improve the classroom experiences of her students, and most recently has led an initiative which aligns very well with the theme of the conference this year, which is to remove tuition cost, enabling the enrollment of MBA students from non-traditional backgrounds and raising the overall MBA program outcomes. Her former students provide glowing, and I seriously mean glowing, descriptions of the many benefits they experienced in a variety of learning and situations with her. Nominators also explained how Amy was repeatedly served as a valuable resource for other faculty who have benefited from her helpful suggestions and advice about the many ways to improve their teaching skills. Her overall contribution to the field has been and continues to be nothing short of miraculous and superb. She has been a key member of the Strategic Management Division as an elected member of many committees. In addition, she served as editor of the Academy of Management Review, an associate editor of the Academy of Management Journal, and somewhat amazingly, she continues to publish in her current role as dean. Overall, Amy is an exceptional scholar and educator who is well-deserving of the award, and we're pleased to recognize her. Just to outline some of the points that were made, here are a few excerpts from her nomination letters. Amy's mentoring and guidance has shaped me into the researcher that I am. When I first started working with her, she was taking on a number of new roles as both ASU and within the Academy. Yet she always had time for me. Those of us fortunate enough to be doctoral students of Amy Hillman's have benefited not only from her incredible training and insight, but from her influence across our careers. So congratulations, Amy, on this well-deserved recognition for your outstanding contribution as an educator. Congratulations. Thanks. Our second award is the Distinguished Award for the Scholar Practitioner Contributions to Management. As you can see, it's my pleasure to announce that Hermonia Ibarra is the 2018 recipient of the Distinguished Scholar Practitioner Award. Hermonia, who is not able to attend this year's meeting, but many of her know her as the Charles Handy Professor of Organizational Behavior at London Business School. The awards committee, we were particularly impressed with her exceptional contributions across many, many, many areas that were evaluated for this award. In particular, we noted testimonials to Hermonia's generous support from her junior colleagues, the ongoing time and energy she devoted to translating her research into teaching cases, the wide appeal of her books for practitioners, and the way in which she continued to be a champion of gender diversity. The broad impact of her ongoing contributions as a model scholar practitioner has brought and continues to bring lasting and multiple benefits to the field. She has published groundbreaking articles, developed important theoretical contributions for the studies of networks and identity, just to name those as two areas of her work. In addition, she has gone the extra miles to translate her research into books, articles, and teaching cases that essentially have become essential resources to multiple audiences. In her nominating letters, you can see a number of different things that were said about her. I believe that a crucial feature that makes Hermonia's research so inspirational for young scholars is that it is both academically rigorous as well as hugely relevant for individuals and organizations. Her work exemplifies the very best of what I think is a scholar who seeks to advance both the science and practice of management. She uses her rigorous academic research as the foundation of her writings for practicing managers. In addition, she is arguably the leading expert on career dynamics, focusing particularly on networks of work relationships, networks of underrepresented members, and the identity dynamics of rural transitions. Her work in these areas has been transformational and central. So we would like to congratulate Hermonia on this well-deserved recognition for her outstanding contributions as a scholar practitioner. Our next award is the Distinguished Service Award, and it's our pleasure to announce that Stella Nkomo is the 2018 recipient of the Distinguished Service Award. Stella also, unfortunately, cannot be with us today, but we'd all like to sort of kind of recognize the value of her contribution. Stella is a professor in the Department of Human Resources at the University of Pretoria in South Africa. Her internationally recognized research on race and gender and managing diversity has been published in numerous journals and edited volumes. In addition, and most importantly for this award, she has had a continual force pushing change at the Academy. She's been fully engaged in the preparations for the Academy conferences in Africa and has played an instrumental role in the development of the African Journal of Management. She's developed countless hours of professional service, including serving on the Executive Committee for the National Research Foundation in South Africa, on the AOM Board of Governors, and as the founding president of the Africa Academy of Management. She was central to the launch of the Academy's Africa Conference and Faculty Development Workshop Series, and has played an instrumental role in the development of the African Journal of Management. However, somehow, she has also continuously found time to assist and guide students as part of her mission to influence the next generation of scholars, particularly in Africa. As noted by her nominators, Stella has been a stellar member of the Academy and has radically transformed management research in Africa. She is the epitome of the African concept of Ubuntu, which roughly translates as, I am what I am because of who we all are. She helps everyone around her contribute positively to the development of others in a non-judgmental way. She has been and remains an inspiration for future leadership in the Gender and Diversity in Organizations Division of the Academy, and she's wanted the GDO division to be more inclusive, to be more international, to be more critical, and her guidance has been a key strength in achieving these outcomes. What stood out for the award committee was her incredible commitment to be a bridge builder and a continent spanner, and her ongoing efforts to improve the quality of university education and management research in Africa. So we'd like to congratulate Stella on this well-deserved recognition for her outstanding service to the Academy. Our final award is the Distinguished Award for Scholarly Contributions to Management. And it's our pleasure to announce that R. Edward Freeman is the 2018 recipient of the Distinguished Scholarly Contributions in Management Award. Ed is a professor of business administration at the Darden School of the University of Virginia, and he's also the academic co-director in the Initiative of Business and Society and the academic director of the Business Roundtable Institute for Corporate Ethics at Darden School. His publications are truly outstanding. He's published more than 20 books and 150 academic articles and is still at it. As nominators noted, Ed's role in developing stakeholder theory has been a monumental achievement. Stakeholder theory has truly become a fundamental concept in management, and its value continues to be recognized in both academic and practitioner realms. As another nominator noted, his work remains stubbornly controversial, as befits a world-class intellectual and innovator. It's almost impossible to overstate the impact of his research. His work now has more than 70,000 citations, and it has been transported into multiple fields of study and in many different languages. In the words of one of his nominators, it would be hard to think of a more creative and iconoclastic thinker in modern business academe. Dr. Freeman, someone who has made splendid use of his eclectic schooling, including a PhD degree in philosophy, continues to stake the foundations of business thinking. He almost single-handedly popularized the concept of stakeholders, and his work subsequently inspired generations of scholars to attempt to unpack this multifaceted concept. Stakeholder reasoning is today a fundamental dimension of both theory and practice, with academics and managers alike speaking of stakeholders and organizations. This is due entirely to Ed's insights and efforts. Stakeholder reasoning is infused into strategy, organization, business ethics, environmental studies, and social issues in management, just to name a few. His book, Strategic Management, A Stakeholder Approach, published in 1984, was a landmark development in the field of business and society and marked the beginning of an entirely new area of study on stakeholder management from a strategic standpoint. So congratulations, Ed, on this well-deserved award. There you go. Thank you.